Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna make a deli style sandwich. So this is all the ingredients that I'm gonna use, and I'll start with the basic: salt, olive oil, and this is my favorite kind, and some deli meat. And you can just have any meat that you like. I prefer turkey breast, and I would suggest this bread, the long bread, French style bread. I'm not sure what you call it. I was super lucky to find it on clearance in Walmart. And provolone cheese. I used the pre-sliced version because it makes it much simpler to work with. And then rosemary. This is really gonna bring out a beautiful flavor. I was not aware about rosemary until the past few years. And then I fell in love with it ever since, and I would just suggest adding some rosemary to it. And once you cook the rosemary a little, the aroma is just so good. And I add rosemary to everything from now on. I love rosemary. And then, of course, there's butter! Oh, I'm sorry, I just got so excited. This is my favorite butter. I mean, I love butter in general, but this is my favorite butter. I like Britannia butter. If you're in India, I would suggest using the Britannia butter. It's good, but if you're in America like me, you can just use this butter. It tastes really good. And then an onion, depending on how much onion you like in your sandwiches, you can use a smaller onion. And then 2 tomatoes, and then like a clove or so of garlic. But if you like more garlic, you can add more. The garlic is just used for making garlic butter. You can start showing off your knife skills if you want to. Let the seal be broken. And here it is. The bread. Slicing your bread, I would suggest using a sewing knife and just slice it all the way through. If you want to just leave this part, just don't cut it all the way through, and you want it to just be held together like that, go ahead. But I like to open up my bread completely when I'm trying to layer the garlic bread, and it just works better like that because I don't have any expectations that the bread is going to be held together or whatever. It just works like this for me. Set the temperature to 400 Fahrenheit. Now it's time for the garlic butter. So just take as much butter you want to use. I would suggest this much. Just put it in a cup and so I'm gonna use 4 cloves of garlic. They have all different sizes, and I think this amount works good for me. And basically for this recipe, all the amount for everything really depends on your taste. Really finely chop your garlic, unless you want to bite a big chunk of garlic, then you do you, friend. And it's just better to just have it finely chopped, according to me, because I really don't like biting into pieces of garlic, and I think it releases more flavor if it's finely chopped, and it'll mix well with the butter, and you'll have it spread more on the bread. This, and just carefully. Be careful, SpongeBob! Carefully just put it in your buttercup. You see what I did there? So the reason I wanted to make a sandwich today, because the weather's really beautiful out there, and it's great to just sit outside, relax, enjoy your food. And sandwiches are my go-to for for any kind of picnic. I'm just so excited for when it's done. Chop the onions. I always find onion chopping so aggressive. I don't know. I've never been like, oh, let me chop an onion. I'm like, let's chop this onion. Let's be violent over here. So chop your onions if you want to finely chop the onions. It's tomatoes. Okay, so chop your tomatoes, and this can be the thickness you can go with. And if you like more thick, go ahead. If you like them thick maters. Does this look like enough onions? I'm pretty sure it is. And this is my cast iron skillet. I'm so happy to finally have one. I wanted a cast iron skillet for a long time, and man, it's so good. I love to make eggs and every kind of thing on it. Like, I just don't use any kind of skillet anymore. This is my skillet now. This is mine. Just spread it on your bread evenly, unevenly. You do you. You do you. And I mean, I could just eat it at this point. I mean, bread, garlic, butter. That's awesome. I don't. Let's just stop that video right now. I think I can just eat it like this. I'm just kidding. We'll go through this and we'll do the whole thing. We'll spread it and we'll eat it, and we're gonna be like, oh, this is so good. I know it's taking a little extra work. I mean, you can buy garlic bread that you can already find in the store, but I think it's a little bit more expensive. And you know, a lot of times the stores would not use real butter. They'll use something that I don't like. Something. Yeah. What was I saying? Okay. So I'm gonna use the brush too right now. Okay. So I just want to say, like, in the stores, like, they need preservatives because they want to store it for a longer time. Did I just eat that garlic off? Okay, never mind. That's why I don't film and make at the same time. So they use preservatives and a lot of, like, just oil-based butter. I just don't like the flavor of it, and it's way too oily. Like, the store-bought garlic bread is way too oily. Like, if you think this much garlic butter is a lot, then my friend, if you go to the store, it's gonna be so much more. Like, it's like literally I'm biting into oil. Oh, I'm not, you know, hating on that. It's just not for me. And plus, with the butter, like fresh melted butter, it gives off such a good aroma. And of course, the garlic's also like freshly chopped right in front of you, so it just releases so much more flavor. I just love it. So you notice that I didn't add any garlic butter on the outside because, like, you might want to take it as like a meal prep and take it to your work, and you don't want those oily fingers, so that's why I didn't. But if you want some extra flavor, just go ahead. If you're just enjoying it at home, I suggest you do that. Gonna put it in the oven. I've set the temperature to 400 degrees, and when you put it in the oven, it's just gonna toast it and release the aroma and the garlic, and the oil will seep in. And I would keep checking on it for when it turns golden brown. I would like it to be a little crispy. If you like, you can have it raw too. I would suggest having it a little crispy, and it's pretty nice and crunchy. I'll show you the crunch. Yummy! So I'm out here just waiting for the onions to golden brown. Like, literally, that's all that I need to do. That's all that I need to do. This is all the cooking part you basically need to do. The rest is just assembly. Here comes my favorite part. Layering the provolone. Just add as much as you want to. This is all that I have, but man, I would just add like a million slices if I could. Like, the more cheesier, the better. Yeah. Oh, this looks so cute. And once you add the cheese, back in the oven it goes. I would just wait for the cheese to be slightly melted. Not like really melty, but a little bit. So this looks awesome. The provolone cheese is slightly melted, and this is what we want. I don't want it to melt more, but if you want to melt it more, go ahead and do that. But this is a texture I like in my cheese, just a little more like more like it's melted but not dripping off the sides. And our onions are coming out really good. Our first turkey layer, and to this I'm gonna add some rosemary. Sprinkle it on, and it all depends like how much rosemary you like. Let's just add a lot. Add some olive oil on top of it, just drizzle it, and it doesn't matter if it falls on your pan. Like, at least for me, like, I use this pan for a lot of things where I would just, you know, just slightly grease it with some olive oil, and it already has olive oil for my next recipe. Then put another layer of turkey. I put the olive oil and rosemary in between so that, you know, it just stays over there, just to add like an adhesive for it. Just layer it on and add as much meat as you want to, whatever fits in your mouth. Like, just make it as meaty as you want to. My skillet is off right now. That's why at this point, I'm gonna add some rosemary to the onions too, so that it cooks a little bit. So your rosemary, you don't wanna cook it a lot, but you still want it to get like nice and warm so that it releases a lot of aroma. Over here, I added some rosemary with the olive oil because, I mean, rosemary and olive oil, I don't know the science behind it, but it releases a lot of aroma if it mixed with some kind of oil. I mean, that's what I noticed. Any spice mixed with some oil, it just becomes more flavorful. But if you cook it with your onions too, it really flavors the onions too. It's gonna be so delicious, just the rosemary and the onions together. Now just start adding the tomato as much as you like. I would just add like 1 layer. I won't do 2 layers or anything of that, but hey, if you are a tomato lover, feel free to do so. Just layer it as much as you like. And there you go. Remember from our previous video, this spatula is like broken and it's all floppy, but I don't want to throw it away. I mean, it's still a good spatula. It has done me good. But as you can see, it's just flopping around like this, but it's still like good for stirring and everything. I would not just try to flip an omelet with it. I mean, I have tried to, or do anything like that. And I think the onions are done, and here comes my favorite part, trying to just...
You can't have 12 favorite parts now.
Every scene is my favorite part. I don't know, I just love playing with this, but well, okay. I would leave it to the professionals. So, scoop up the onions. Scoop it all up, layer it, and mix it together. So we're gonna add lots and lots and lots of mayonnaise to it. We love mayonnaise on our sandwiches, and just don't feel shy, just add a lot of it. It's just my favorite part, to see the mayonnaise on toasted bread. It's so amazing.
Can't have all these favorite parts.
The whole cooking process is my favorite. Oh, well, sorry. This is for my spice lovers only. Like, if you really like some kick in your sandwiches, just add some pickled jalapeños to it. I would just add like 10 or something slices on the sandwich, but this is completely optional. So these 3 go very well with your sandwiches. I would highly recommend this. Like, it's so amazing. It just really brings out the flavor of the sandwich. And of course, there's Pringles sour cream and onion. This is like really good. I'm just gonna, oh, whatever. Also, this is the last thing. It's not Pringles jalapeno. This is Blue Lay's Indian magic masala. So they come in packets, and I don't want to finish the whole packet in one day, so I just save these Pringles packets and just Pringles containers and just store my Indian Lay's in it. Hey, it goes really good with the sandwich too. And now the sandwich. So whenever cutting a sandwich, you want to cut it on the other side like this, because it just holds it together. So if you're gonna cut it, then that's the side you want to cut it. This is my suggested drink. I love these drinks, and I would... Whoa, this glass is shaking. What happened? Are you okay? Okay, and I love these glasses. What am I even saying? I love these drinks, and it's just amazing in general, and it's not high in calories. And this was... Oh yeah, this was like a failed attempt at Dalgona coffee. So another tip, like if you're trying to make Dalgona, don't try to just heat it up in the microwave. Just scoop the mixture out into hot milk, or pour hot milk over it. Just don't do what I did today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and you know, just try it and let me know in the comments below how it turned out. See you next time. So this is it. The sandwich is being closed.
Hey. Mayonnaise.